Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Yes, I didn't start off with my opening as usual, so I figured that you guys wanted me to just jump right out there. Instead of having my opener and everything else, I'd just jump right into it. But I want to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everybody. And welcome back to the channel. You know it is, JJ with you on JJ's PC Builds. Let me double check and make sure we're rolling. So this way, because I gotta check. You know me, guys. I have to check just to make sure we're rolling. And we are rolling. Okay. So, let me go ahead and plug in the power cord. That way we know we're going and pick up paper and everything else. Oh, phone's acting weird. Let me double check just to make sure we're plugged in. Okay, sorry guys. Hello machine, good to see you. Glad you're here. Let me go ahead and let everybody know on Discord that we are live. We are live. So that way everybody knows we are live. Let me go ahead and do this really quick, and this way I can send everybody the link. You know how everybody is, just I know I'm babbling right now. Don't interrupt me while I'm babbling. Oh my goodness. Okay, just getting Discord all set. That way everybody is all set. So, alrighty, there we go. There we go. I know you guys are just listening to me all babbled in, but make sure you got your drink and snacks, guys. It's going to be a good one. I am texting the guy now, yeah. Okay, cool machine, that's cool. Hello, Winston. Good to see you. Good to see you. Never mind. Well, guys, the way I'm going to start off today on the live stream, if you guys don't mind, I'm going to start off by doing something a little bit different. Okay, I'm going to read you guys. Subscribers sent me a story. And they really want me to read it off to you guys. And if you guys really want me to every week read a story that you leave on the comments on the videos, you can leave a whole story right there, and I'll copy it and I'll put it right here for when I read the next story for the next week. I know it doesn't seem like it's something that you might be interested in, might not be interested in, but it is something the gaming community might be interested in. Okay, so I turned around, I copied his story so I didn't copy his information, and I put it onto a notepad. So you guys can follow along with me on this story. Yes, I know it's you, Winston. I know who you are. You got nothing to worry about. So you guys can follow along with me on this story so you can see what he wrote. I got it all set up right here. Let me go ahead and expand it out a little bit for you. Alrighty. There. Alex put the hunt for the elusive graphics card. Now, I just want you guys to go with me on this story, and when I'm finished, we'll talk about it. But this is all dealing into all the pricing mishaps and everything else. In a small, cluttered home office, which he has, what he said, as I sat in front of my aging gaming rig. I read slow, guys. You got to give me a little bit of breathing room on that. Nervously drumming my fingers on the desk. My dream was simple: to upgrade my PC with the latest graphics card and finally stream gaming in a stunning 4K for my growing audience. He's a content creator. I don't know why he sent it to me, but he sent it to me, but it's all good. We're gonna talk about it. But in the world of tech enthusiasts, my dreams were rarely simple. The headlines have been tantalizing. NVIDIA and AMD have announced their newest GPUs, promising jaw-dropping performance and advanced ray tracing technology. See where we're going with this. In my mind, these launches were a beacon of hope. The Radeon RX 9070 XT was said to have a manageable MSRP of $599, which seemed almost within reach. Okay. So, when launch day arrived, I was ready. Armed with multiple browser tabs and finger poised over the keyboard, I was enjoying with the digital frenzy. He's just ready to go at it. He just click happy. But within the minutes, reality hit hard. The retailers had sold out of the RX 9070 XT, as though it had evaporated into cyberspace. Scalpers armed with bots had snatched up nearly every available card. Resale price soared $850, $900, even $1,000. For NVIDIA's RTX 5090, the situation was even grimmer, with prices skyrocketing to twice the amount of MSRP, which we know it's 4 times the amount now, especially on eBay. My frustration simmered into anger as I scrolled through the tech forums where others shared their outrage. How is this fair? One user vented. Companies tease us with affordable prices only to let resellers exploit us, which is true. I was in agreement, feeling the sting of a community let down. I'll tell you what, you got a good story going on here. Determined not to give up, I turned to their audience. Should have put to the audience. In my next live stream, they have addressed the issue head on, using humor and facts to channel their frustrations into something productive. Welcome to Graphics Card Hunger Games. Wow, that sounds like a video I made. Welcome to the Hunger Games, where the graphics card catches on fire. I'm telling you, this is getting good, guys. I joked. He joked that one. May the odds be in your favor, or at least in your budget. Too much. The chat lit up with comments. Some shared tips of hunting GPUs. Others very sad over the struggle. It's not good. Slowly, the stream evolved into a rally cry for fair pricing and better accessibility. I hope NVIDIA, AMD, Intel, and all the AIB partners listen very, very well on what people are talking about. You hear one side of the story, but you're not hearing the other. That's the problem. As I logged out for the night, they felt a glimmer of hope. The graphics card they dreamed of was still out of reach. But their voice and those of their followers, wow, had the power to spark change. And if nothing else, they built a stronger community around a shared cause. I wanted to share this with you so you can share it with others. Thank you for listening, Alex. Guys, that's deep. I'm going to say this. If you guys got a story you want me to tell each week on the problems and the stresses and everything else, on a video, which pop up to the recent, you could leave a whole story right there. I'll copy it and put it on Notepad, and I'll tell the story when it comes to that stream for Saturday at 12 p.m. So if you want to share your story, you can leave it on a video, or you can go onto my homepage and you can email me there. But if you leave it on if you do your story on the video, then basically everybody sees it. So that way, you can get your word out. But I'm doing this as well to let, to read everybody's story out there, because I feel it's important. I need to know what the community's feeling right now. I mean, are we being lambasted? Are we just pawns for their projects? Basically, we're beta testers. We're paying for the product to be a beta tester. That's kind of what it feels like right now. Okay, I'm going to read what you guys put in the comments. By the way, yeah, I know that once upon a time, GPUs were affordable. Yeah, that's once upon a time. YT, good to see you. Welcome to the channel. My cash is just sitting on top of the fridge, slowly burning a hole. By the time there's stock again, it's sold out again. I do agree with that. At this rate, this is a pile of cash will burn a hole all the way through my fridge. Yeah. It's pretty much what it's going to come down to, and I mean that's what people are talking about. Basically, they saved up to get these new GPUs, but just to find out what they saved up doesn't matter because it's more priced out. It costs more than what they saved up, and they're shattered. I mean, it's ridiculous. And these sellers and AIB partners and manufacturer companies need to slow their roll, need to come back to reality when it comes to pricing. And this is not reality. This is fantasy. And if people want to pay for the fantasy, then go pay for the fantasy. But truthfully, in my opinion, I'm not going to recommend you guys buy these until the price comes down to a manageable, kind of thing. Especially when you're paying more for the software than you are the hardware. So, I had to work launch day. By evening, I checked everything everywhere was cleaned out. The only place that wasn't cleaned out there, YT, was Micro Center. Micro Center, I did Graphics Card Nightmare yesterday and looked at all the pricing. Micro Center had 2 or 3 MSRP cards. If you're looking for the 9070 XT, they had a couple Asus cards, they had a Gigabyte card, and they had a ASRock card. If you're looking to go that route, Micro Center still has a few. Depending on what state you're in and where your Micro Center is located at, because I can tell you in California they got a few. But for your state or wherever you're in, I can't vouch for that. You'll end up having to call them to see how many they got left in stock, just so it's worth your time to make that trip. Just saying. So, those, because Micro Center is the only place that's not getting scalped. I mean, they had the stock. So let's roll up our sleeves, guys. I'm gonna roll up my sleeves, and I'm gonna put this story off to the side, and I'm gonna save this for a later date. Okay. So let's go ahead and take a little journey to Micro Center. And I got everything pretty much set up, so if I learn how to spell, maybe. Okay, so we're taking a little journey to Micro Center. I know some people don't have Micro Center near them. But truthfully, on Amazon and Newegg, you're going to find a lot of sold outs. This is the 9070 Reaper for $549. It's a power color. That's MSRP. These are not MSRP. This is a whole pre-built with a 9800 X3D, a 9070 XT, 32 gigabytes of DDR5 6000 RAM with the 2 terabyte solid state drive for $2,400. And I still think it can be down around $1,800. That's kind of rich, I would think. There were 2 Micro Centers, far north and far east and west, over an hour drive away through heavy city traffic. Both were cleaned out 100%. They did show a stock of 9070s the next day or so, not many though. Best Buy shows new arrivals, and I checked, all new arrival stock sold out. Yeah. Wow. I mean, oh, hello, Alan. Welcome to the channel. Good to see you. We have one Micro Center in Denver, and the new used GPU market here has been a mixed bag. Well, I'm going to tell you, it's been a mixed bag over the whole world right now. There are some retailers that they're not going to be selling these new cards is because it's overpriced. I've had a couple friends of mine from different countries tell me this, and they're resellers. And this is no made up story. This is the real deal. They told me I can tell the story if I want. So, as they told me, they said they're not touching it, at least for another year, until these companies learn to bring down their prices and stop acting stupid. That's basically what they told me. So, yeah, I can agree with that. You know, stuck on stupid, yeah, I can agree with them, you know, these retailers 100%. They got a 9070 XT here for $599. So, I mean, $599. They got a XFX 9070 XT triple fan, $600. ASRock. That is the ugliest goddamn color I've ever seen ASRock put on a GPU. I don't know, guys. You can lambaste me all you want on this, but that is an ugly graphics card. It's like somebody blew their nose on it. Ugh. I mean, for real. I said that a couple times. Now they got a 9070 Challenger right here for $549. You know. I'm only pulling out the ones that are MSRP. I'm not worried about the ones that are not. They got a Sapphire Pulse 9070 for $549. And they got a Sapphire right here, 9070 XT for $599. So, let's get back to the reality. So, by the way, the 7900 XT was sold out, so he got the 7800 XT for $520 on Amazon this morning. I'm sorry to hear that, machine. You know, I mean, there's not much we can do. If you were to go GPU shopping about 2 months ago, you would have had plenty of selections, you know, around November. But once it hit December, that's when stock started to dwindle out, and that should have told everybody, you know, what the real deal is. But some people, you know, didn't have that luxury to get them at that time because everybody was waiting and hoping this launch from NVIDIA and AMD were going to be spectacular. Even the B580 from Intel was a paper launch. And they said they're not putting out any more. So don't expect it to be anything on Intel anytime soon. YT says, even with all people that bought 7800 XTs, 7900 GREs, and 7900 XTs, the 7900 XTX all ate last year. Into this year, there's still too high of demand. Individual scalpers. Exactly. Go look on eBay. I'm sorry, I keep saying e-waste because eBay reminds me if you're going to a yard sale and you get broken items that barely work and everything else, but now they're transferring, excuse me, new items onto eBay that you would buy from Amazon or Newegg or whatever, these big companies that have 3-year warranties on top of you getting a 2-year warranty from the manufacturer. So you get 3-year warranty from them and a 2-year warranty from the manufacturer. You get 5 years. These scalpers took that all the way out, and only thing that you're going to get, you'll be lucky if you get the 2-year warranty from the manufacturer because they hold the receipt, they bought the item, and it's a second sale. And when you go to get the warranty from it, 9 out of 10 chances those scalpers have already registered that product under their name. So they're probably going to lock you out of the 2-year warranty as well. So that's what you don't want to take a chance on. You don't want to chance that. If you're going to buy something, buy it from a retail store that's going to give you a warranty. On top of you getting that manufacturer warranty. But if you do get a 3-year warranty from, let's say, Amazon, wait for that to run out until you register your graphics card for the 2 years. So you can get a full 5 years. At least you're guaranteed a warranty. Just a heads up on that. I did the mistake. I had the 3-year warranty on one of my items, and I registered it, and I didn't think about it, and I went, oops. And now, the 3-year warranty will exceed the 2-year warranty on the manufacturer's warranty. So basically, I'm stuck with the 3-year warranty on one item. Wasn't thinking. Trust me, I wasn't thinking about it. So, let me read more of this story. Alan says, I took a chance on Facebook Marketplace with the Zotac Solid 5090 OC listing $3,300. My God, I would have never bought it. And it ended up being legit. I traded a used PNY 4090 plus cash. Why? Right now, with the 4090 and the 5090 reaching neck and neck in price, I really would have just did a swap and been done with it. That's just my opinion. So, I don't only game as I do retail data analytics for work. Oh, that's understandable. I mean, I can understand that. I ended up paying only $713 over MSRP for a Zotac 5090, which is reasonable considering the market, but is still a tough pill to swallow. I got a 4070. I ain't changing it. I'm not changing it. Especially with all that new software trickling down to my graphics card. Do you really think I really want to pay more and get less? That's what a lot of people didn't take in consideration. All that new software coming from the 50 series is coming down to the 40 series. So that's going to give you a little bit more bump in performance with your 40 series. And it's free. And it doesn't cost you a thing. I would have waited out 6 months before I decided I would have gotten a 5090 if I were you. But you've already done it. It's already done and over with, so there's nothing you can really do about it. So, Machine says, I told him the 7800 XT will be fine. He has the 2080. Yeah, it will be fine. I do agree, Machine. You know, I bought the 7800 XT for my friend. It's still running fine. He's got the power color. It's not the OC version, but it works. So, YT says, Jawa now has the same scumbag scalpers. I know, I saw that yesterday. I was about to bring that up. Reselling the 9070 series cards. Yeah, I seen that yesterday, and I was going to bring it up today, but you brought it up already. Yeah, I mean, it's a no-brainer. Alan says, I have a B580 for my second bedroom build, and it has been a solid option for a sub $400. I'm sorry, I'm pulling my hair out right now. I don't have any left. It's because of these companies. I don't have any left. I can pull this, but $400 for a $250 graphics card? Oh. That's even tougher for me to swallow. Oh, man. I feel your pain. I really do. It doesn't cook my room with heat being 190 watt card, and it has respectable performance for the price. Yeah, I'm gonna beg to differ on the price to performance. You could have got something way better with better price to performance for $400, just in my opinion. But from Java, 16 gigabyte GPU, best deal on new and used AMD and NVIDIA graphics card on Java. Buy from real gamers with no scalping allowed since day one. Check 16 gigabyte GPU listed. Literal Reaper selling for $950. Yep, I know. Most people, 40 series seems to be totally fine. Yeah, it does, because they updated the software. They're already giving you some of the unlocks for the games. Yeah, I mean, it's a no-brainer. I mean, truthfully, I use I use 5090 for work and play, so I don't regret it. Well, if you're happy with it, you're happy with it. Just make sure you check the ROPs, that you have all your ROPs. A lot of people weren't checking that, so get GPU Z and look on the specifications to see if you got all your ROPs. Just saying. I don't have to worry about mine because I know they're there. And without those, especially if you're doing content creating or you're playing games and everything else, that's going to lose. You're going to lose 12% performance not having those 8 ROPs. So that's already been proven. That's already been tested and proven. So, kind of multitasking, so listening also. It's okay there, Winston. You're fine. MTBK, good to see you. Hi, I'm just half an hour late, assuming I'm half an hour early. Yeah, pretty much. There was a time shift in the U.S. Yeah, we know. We went up an hour. So, yeah, we shifted. Hello, pseudoscientists. Good to see you. I'm lurking, mean I'm busy. It's fine. It's all good. Let's see. I make money with my GPUs while most gamers don't, so that's why I justify the prices I paid. I'd rather pay more than get scammed, since time is priceless and money comes and goes. Well, yeah, Alan, that's true, but time is money. And if you got to spend more money for your gear, then your time is not, it's not balancing with your time. Your time is worth more than your gear. You have to realize that. Your time could cost $1 million per hour. Your gear does not cost that. But guess what? That's what these AIB partners and retailers want you to pay in order to get that gear. So that's, I mean, 63% of the whole world plays low budget gaming PCs. In the midst of that, you got what, 30 some percent that got mid-grade PCs, and you got your 1% that can buy a $10,000 PC and not worry about it. So it's ludicrous that, especially when you got hardworking hardworking gamers that barely scrimp by, and they want a PC they can enjoy. But they can't enjoy it because the prices are so high. I really wish these companies would feel in their heart when they're putting these prices out. Because they're trying to make now low budget PCs at $500. Low budget at $500. It used to be a year ago at $200. Now, since they put this big AI boom in there, now it's up to the low range is at $500. It's crazy. It's stupid. I'm reading along with you guys too, so by the way, Jay, I'm gonna have to get the build you help me build piece by piece. Oh, I get what you're saying. You want me to help you build your PC piece by piece. That's fine. Get with me and we'll talk about it and we'll see where you want to go with it. It's not a problem. So, Alan says, I've been scammed 6 times in the last month, wasting me thousands of dollars trying to source a 4090. Once I did, I traded it for a 5090 plus cash. Done. Moving on with life. Never get time back. Yeah, that's true. I mean, me, I got my 4070 almost 2 years ago, and it's the overclock version. I've never had a problem with it. Ever since, from the first time I got it to now, never had a problem. Except for the black screening that happened on the last 2 sets of drivers, which was fixed somewhat by NVIDIA. So, I can let those slide. Because all this time the drivers have been good. So, with them updating us to the new software for the 50 series on the 40 series, I can deal with it. So, Intel wants to remain competitive in the GPU market. Well, they need to start putting GPUs out. This is the problem with these companies right now. Alan, listen. These companies are jacking up the prices, and how they do it, they're limiting the amount of GPUs they put on the market. It's obvious NVIDIA stopped making all 40 series and said, oh, we're going to devote our attention to the 50 series. That was a load of crap. Where are the 50 series? They should be busting out of the trucks. They should be all over the place. We shouldn't be having scamming issues. But guess what? They went to data centers. The real money where NVIDIA's making the real money. And they just trickle the third-rate garbage to us. And that's exactly what they did. Third-rate silicon, leftovers, pieces. It's stupid. And they wonder why their gaming base, their consumer gaming base is getting ready to walk over to AMD. They wonder why. They're basically handing the market over to AMD. Thank you. I'm so excited. Well, I don't blame you. I'd be excited too, my friend. Believe it or not, saw someone was selling a 3060 for $225. they better think about moving it down to $200. Truthfully. Because now they're trying to jack the prices up to almost $400 on a 3060. Not happening here, and I won't pay that kind of price, and I know y'all probably wouldn't pay that kind of price neither. Because that $400 range, you can get something a lot better. You just gotta take and put your peepholes and open them up a little bit so that way you can see actually what's out there. And there's a whole list of graphics cards out there. And you can even go to Tech Power Up and look at the wide range of assortment of graphics cards that are out there, which they show you. Or you can go to PC Part Picker and you can look at the wide ranges. And I'm going to take you guys there. So let's go ahead and just go back to the action screen. Let's hit the home button so we can go to PC Part Picker. Let's go PC Part Picker. You know I go here all the time. So you click on Builder. And I know I don't got the big cursor right now. I know you guys are going to be, Jay, you get the big cursor out right now. Well, you know what? I'll do this. Since everybody's all hyped up on the big cursor, we're just going to go ahead and we're just going to go boom. And we're going to put it out there. I know y'all hyped up on this. So let's go ahead and look at the video card. And I'll go back one step again. You click on Builder, and then you go and click where it says Video Card. Okay, there's many things you can do. You can go where it says Price and click it up, and it gives you the lowest price. Or you can go over here and fine-tune your selection. Where it says Chipset, you can fine-tune your selection. Let's say 9070 XTs. And you can click Show More, and then, you can do many of things here. So, you got the 9070 XT, or if you want to show a little bit of GeForce, you can click on 5090, 5080, 5070 Ti, and 5070. So, and then go back to the top, and then you'll look and see right here will tell you the cheapest price sometimes. So for $700, they got an Asus Prime right here, $700. Let me read what you guys are writing too. Sounds like Battle Mage is the last release. Yep, that's true. That's what it sounds like to me. If they stop selling, them, basically they're not launching anymore. Basically says they're basically done with graphics cards. That they might go integrated graphics, and that's something AMD's talking about too. Really don't know. I was just browsing. Oh, okay. Alan says, if I was mostly gaming on PC, my advice would be to avoid scalpers. That's why I always bring it up and tell you guys avoid them. And enjoy the last generation cards for a lower price until the new generation cards stabilize in price. Perfectly said. I was giving it 6 to 7 months for it to stabilize. For everybody to calm down, get their fingers out of their poop chute, and everything else. Sorry, I had to put it that way, but let's see what else you guys writing. I'm sorry, I can't see well, guys. You're going to have to, bear with me. My glasses are not that great. And I got bifocals, too. And don't crack on my bifocals. So, Alan says, if I was mostly... Okay, we talked about that. Problem is, those are getting scalped along with used market cards too. Yeah, I agree. Machine says, if you can find last gen cards, barely. It's a shame I had a 3080 Ti before the 40 series, and it was still working well, honestly. 30 series is still a viable option for price. And so is the 6000 series for AMD. Just to for say, 6950 XT, if you can get it for $600 or $700, the 6950 XT is still a rocker. It still rocks. There's a lovely 7900 GRE on Jawa for only more than $800. Yeah, when they were $529 for how long on Amazon, Newegg, and so on. Quite a while. So, relax, used market will settle down in 6 months. So the scientists, that's what I keep saying, it might or it might not. But there's been a report out there. There is a report out there from a legible source saying that the price wars are just now getting, they're not going to get any better. They might get worse in the long run. So, if it's true or false, who knows? If these companies are starting this practice now, do you really think they're going to stop? That's the question. It's a 50-50 chance they might not. What happens with, this is a new generation, what happens on 2 years down the road on the next generation? What's going to happen? They're going to jack the price up even higher? It's going to be relentless of us ever going to get a decent graphics card. Who knows? I mean, Intel right now is working on the 18A, which is 3 nanometer process. But for the foreseeable future, TSMC did say that they were keeping 3 nanometer to, Taiwan. They said in a report a long while back that they were going to keep 3 nanometer in Taiwan and keep it home. Even though TSMC is here in Arizona, I heard the lowest they're going to be going is 4 nanometer and that's it. So, wow. And it looks like Intel's going to be the only one that's going to be down at 3 nanometers. So. Yeah, I know. I just got a little crazy with the shoot kind of thing. Yeah. I did some research. From what I've found, it takes about 6 months to make graphics cards. From the call to TSMC to the sales floor, about 6 months. It's about right. Alan says repasting might be necessary with cards that are like 4 to 5 years old. You know, yeah, I agree with that. Anything over 3 years, you should get it repasted. But that's a small price to pay for lower cost. Yeah, I mean, if you look at it and let's say you go to Amazon, everybody can, and you watch some videos on how to take your graphics card apart, then you won't have a problem. But if you look up thermal paste, what comes out right here? Arctic MX6. Not bad. So, I mean, this right here, this BS 139. Why they would call it BS? It's more or less calling it bullshit. So I'm gonna look past that. BS 139. Get out of here with that. I got the Arctic MX4 right here. It's only $7. Okay, this is not a bad paste. I use it in all my stuff, and it's lasted longer than 3 years, and without drying out. So I don't have a problem with it. You know. But they got the MX6. You know, if you want more durable, that you really want it to last long, they got bigger tubes. They got, for $11, you got 8 grams. You know, I get the smaller ones. They got MX6 right here with the cleaning and all that for $15. Not too bad. I recommend to get the small 4-gram tubes is because just in case you don't use that thermal paste for a long period of time and it sits in that tube, you know, it could dry out in the tube. Just sitting in the tube. So that's why I say the 4 grams is just as good. So. TSMC doesn't get to decide. Actually, yeah, they do, because it's their business. It's their business, and they get to decide whatever they want to produce out of their company. That's like saying if you go into a restaurant and you see steak on the menu, but then you get the waiter that says, well, you can't have that because it's not available. It's their call. So, it's business owners' choice what they want to do. Nobody can force a business to do something they don't want to do, basically. A has a 10 to 30% success yield, which is tough to scale up right now, but they are improving every day. I hope they do. I really do. U.S. designers, the CPUs allow TSMC to build them. Yeah, they do. They do. Believe it or not, they do. And right now, the way Intel's going, they're allowing TSMC to use their 18A technology for their personal. Guess Intel cut them a deal. Who knows? But as far as I know right now, Intel might be coming out with what? That new processor. You guys know what processor I'm talking about. Me and MTBK just talked about it earlier today on Discord. You know, if you guys want to become a part of the Discord family, we can take and hook you guys up with an invite in the chat, so that way you guys can follow us there as well. So that way you don't miss out on any of the action. So I'll post you a link right here in the chat, and there you go. Panther Lake, yeah, there it is. Yep, Panther Lake does sound promising. I guarantee you it does. What they say, 32 cores or something. I thought they said 52 or 32, something like that. Or 16 core processor. Something like that. I'm losing track. There's so much information in this world, I'm losing track out of my mind. I should keep it on paper, but I don't, guys. I really don't. But anyway, let's move back. But if you're just shopping around and you're looking to build a PC, let's say I wanted to build an Asus Prime, hit add. That's okay. I want to pick a CPU. Let's say I want a 9800X3D and push add. Okay, I want a CPU cooler. Let's say Peerless Assassin 120, no. Arctic Liquid Freezer, no. Jeez. Let's look at the cheapies. Let's see. What would I get? What would I get? No. Well, yeah. That's 1500 RPM. No. ID cooling 1800 right here. That'll work. Motherboard. What would I choose for the 9800X3D? Believe it or not, this will only let you choose. This will only let you choose motherboards for your processor. So basically, you can only choose the motherboard that comes with the motherboard that goes with that processor. They got a B850M-X ASRock 128. Okay. $109, you know, that's a B8, that's the 800 series motherboard. It's not a full ATX, it's an MATX motherboard. So that's going to save another $100 or so. Memory, let's say memory. Let me put that on the cup. I don't want 8 gigabytes. I'll just put Corsair. I'm gonna put Corsair. I'm sorry, I'm a shill with Corsair. You know, Corsair, I'd rather have their RAM. Say 232s. I want mine black. There. So, right here, 5,600, 6,000. I would go up to the 6,000 right here for 159. That's 64 gigs of system RAM. You can always add more if you want to. But those are 2 sticks. I would stick with that. Storage. Okay. All right, and this 990 Pro, I'm going to put that right there. Because you save money everywhere else. So far, this is what you're spending on the items I just picked. You can get it cheaper, probably. But going this route, this is how much it would cost. Just to give you an idea of when you pick mid-grade to somewhat semi-high end. That's not including the graphics card. So you still got the graphics card to choose. And if you go to choose the graphics card, well, basically you already did. My bad. The graphics card's already here. So, let me read what you guys posted. I obtained a 256K and it's been a solid CPU paired with a B580. It's been a pretty nice combo for the price. Awesome. I mean, that's good reports. That's a good thing to hear. I like to hear that. YT says, well, I'm still fine and dandy with my Power Color Red Devil RX 6700 XT. Well, that's cool. If it's rocking, it's rocking. Say, Art. YT says a Ryzen 5600X with a Thermalright Peerless Assassin SC. I got the point. Yeah. Nice. Heck yeah. I think people aren't really seeing the true value of the last and second last gen cards. True. And CPUs. This tech isn't going to become completely obsolete for years to come, realistically. Yeah, I do agree with you, and I guess Pseudoscientist agrees as well. That's the reason why I'm still on AM4. That's the reason why I'm still rocking the Ryzen 7 5700X with my RTX 4070. But now the way the prices are, for the same price I paid for my rig, you can go AM5. The prices come down enough to where you can go either AM4 or AM5. But it's best to probably go to AM5. Truthfully. Now that the prices are coming down on the platforms, yeah, it's kind of getting down there. So the whole fear of missing out, the FOMO, no. Let's try it in a different light. Alan. Fear mongering. It's not the fear of missing out. That's the reason why people say it's the fear of missing out, the FOMO, is because they don't want to say the truth. It's fear mongering. Everybody fear mongering that it's going to disappear. So you got to go out there and buy it right now. You don't. Believe it or not, if you're rocking from NVIDIA, the 30 series or above, you're fine. If you're rocking Zen 2, you're fine. You know, or you're rocking 8th generation Intel, you're fine. Because I got an 8th generation Intel on Windows 11 24H2. And it runs fine. All 6 cores. That's it. So, yeah, it's the fear mongering. Yeah. It's all a marketing scam. You can still have a great time on older hardware. Yeah, you pretty much can. Certain hardware that if you're going to Windows 11, that requires a pop count from, like 8th gen processor and above, Intel, or AMD requires at least Zen 2 or above, you'll be fine. You can go from I would say a B3, 300 series and above, unless they closed out the 300 series, but I doubt it. But yeah, you can go a 300 series motherboard all the way up. So, YT says, it's hilarious to see my GPU is going for over $740 on Amazon, and I got it for exactly half the price, brand new, 2 years ago. Yeah, I know, ain't that something? I'm seeing my GPU go for close to $980. And when I got it, it only cost me $100. So yeah, I see the point. We are approaching the graphics walk. Yeah. Where 4K, 8K may be amazing, but I'll wait 4 to 6 years for the prices to drop. It's like when they come out with those big movie discs, and they charge for that machine like $4,000. It's like the biggest DVD you've ever seen. And the machine costs you about $4,000. It's the same thing with all new products. 8K right now is going to cost you an arm and a leg. But 2 to 3, when it gets almost to the 4th year, and it's already been out, you can go to Walmart and pay for an 8K, I bet you, less than, what, $200 for an 8K? Give it 4 years, 5 years, and it's going to be right there. Then you got new technology coming out. So, yeah. If you had a 5090, which I don't, and the best CPU at 4K, why would you, when would you need to upgrade? Sorry, my mind's just, when will you need to upgrade? Good question. If you wait four to 6 years, basically, and that 5090, after all the upgrading and everything else, and they don't stop the software for at least 8 years, hear what I'm saying? They don't stop the software for at least 8 years. Updates. When do you think you really need to update? The only problem you're going to have is with your display settings. You might have to turn them down a little bit, but not much. As long as they keep putting the software in there, it keeps balancing itself out. So you can get at least 8 years. Some people got 10 years off a 1080 Ti. 10 years, as they claim. So, yeah, it is a leap. It's a big leap. So, yeah. I already know I got 2 years on my graphics card. I know minimal to me is going to be 5 years total. So in that 5 years time, I can save up my money for the next big thing. The next best big thing. In my mind, when it comes to graphics and everything else, the next best big thing, and I save up my money for it, will my money be worth it by then? That's the problem I'm fighting right now. That's the problem I'm having right now, is because these companies keep jacking the prices up. If the prices keep going over $10,000, you really think I'm going to save $10,000 for a graphics card? I'm going to tell every one of those companies to go piss off. Why would I be paying these companies 10 grand when I can take and buy myself another car and enjoy life? And you know what? It comes down to my computer will take and go in the closet and it will sit there. If I can't use it no more, it will go into the closet and it will sit there. It will become what you call a closet child. Seriously. Closet child. If you use your PC professionally, make your company pay for the upgrades. Yeah. If you use a PC for personal use, make the company that you work for, make them pay for it. Yeah. Don't support scalper prices. I'm not supporting scalper prices. Trust me, I'm far from that. And be patient to get new hardware at MSRP. Otherwise, go get old hardware. I agree, Alan. I agree. YT says pseudoscientists dropped a tongue twister on us. Okay. Yep, that's definitely one. I must have had to reread the last two lines 3 times to get right myself. It's all good. It's all good. Jay is happy with 1080p. You're right. Jay is happy with 1080p. But let me show you a catch 22 to my 1080p. This is where the catch 22 is. I go to my display settings. Right here. Let me show you. Go down here where it says display resolution. Look at this. I got 4K. I got 1440p. I got 1080p. I got 1050p. I got 1980p, 1024p, 900p, 831p, another 14 by 1080p. I got 14 by 900p. I got 1366 times 768p. Boy, I hope I ain't got to use the bathroom after this. I got 1360 times 768p, 1280 times 1024p. Okay. Now, I got that off my chest. Every one of those I can set to any one of my monitors, and my monitors are only 1080p, 60 hertz. So I can run and dynamic screen resolution any resolution I want. Do you really think I need to spend extra money for a graphics card? Nah. Not when the latency is way lower using it this way than running it on a 1440p monitor. So, $1440p is the GOAT, visually with FPS wise. Alan says 10K consumer GPU is wild, but the RTX 6000 ADA is more than half of that, so we're on course. Yeah, Alan, I agree. Pseudoscientist says, sorry fellers, I'm laughing so hard I couldn't type. Alan says, Blackwell workstation card are likely to gonna push 10K for 48 gig. Well, they're pushing 27K, 27 or 29K, if I remember right. Not unless you found a deal on it, because I think I've seen it on eBay for $29,000. I could be wrong, but I thought I seen it. Rumors of a 4090 Ti with 96 gigabytes of VRAM are wild. Oh, just like AMD having a rumor of a 9070 XT with 32 gigabytes of VRAM. Yeah, I like to see that. Since they have the 9070 XT that supposedly blows the doors off of the 7900 XTX and keeps up with the RTX 4080, and it keeps up with the 5070 Ti to close to the 5080. Supposedly. It would have been nice. They would have thrown 32 gigabytes of VRAM on it. Guess what would have happened? Then you could have called it, what? A 7900 XTX plus XT? Or something like that. I don't know. Could have been something. So. Alrighty. Let's change this. Ballpark. That way you guys can see me fully instead of seeing a little bit of the screen. Okay. Pseudoscientist. Oh yeah, the H100 and the A100 are next level. Yeah, well, that's if they can't come up with 3 nanometer process for their GPU die. Yeah, they might be resorted to sell us those big boards for $1 billion, and we shove it into our $10,000 PC, like Jensen says. Yeah, just like the 5070 is supposed to smoke the 4090. I don't know what marijuana they were smoking, but it must be some good ganja. Oh my god. I mean, it had to have been. Somebody must have made a 5070 look like a 5070 out of weed, and you can smoke it. That's pretty much how it's going to come down to it. Like, damn, man. No. Sorry, I had to get that out there. YouTube, don't demonetize me, please. Even though that I'm not monetized yet, don't demonetize me. So, you guys gotta look at the frustrations. The frustrations when it comes to the consumer. You guys are a consumer, I'm the consumer, and you know what, truthfully, even though that I'm a reviewer, I'm not like normal reviewers. Oh my god. Oh my god. YouTube's being a boob, guys. I don't know why it's frozen. Who knows? Oh, okay, you guys can still see me. It's froze on my screen. That's what happened. Never mind, you guys can see me. Yeah. It's froze on my screen. YouTube's being a boob. So, that's the reason why I keep a secondary device, so that way I can make sure that I'm still streaming. So you guys don't lose me and everything else. I'm sure they'll fix it sooner or later, what the hell ever. But Alan says, I gotta go. It was a pleasure chatting. I'll be back later. Hope y'all have a great day. Yeah, you too as well, Alan. Be safe, and we'll talk to you later. You too, pseudo scientist, but I'm still here. I didn't go anywhere yet. I know you guys were saying, well, Jay, you're, I don't think I'm over 2 hours. No, I'm not. I'm only over an hour and 20 minutes. So I still got 40 minutes to go. Oh, that was for Alan. Okay. Okay. Well, I was about to say I got at least 40 minutes to go, guys. At least I got 40 minutes to go. And hopefully YouTube fixes my problem. Damn boobs. Let's see. I know of another shortcut how to do something. I know of another shortcut. You guys can't see it, but I'm linking to it. And it worked. And it worked. So, yay. It works now. You guys still see me, right? Hopefully I didn't upset anything. Let me double check. Nope. I fixed it. I switched web pages. Basically, I just relogged back in. YouTube's crazy like this. But anyway, we're fixed. We're fixed. All right. Let's get back to the brass tacks here, guys. Let's get back to the brass tacks. And I know you guys have heard me say this 1,000 times. Yeah, I am going to complain for the simple fact that the consumer's complaining. I'm bringing their frustration to this live feed today is because they have no other voice than mine. And it seems like if you're bought and paid for like some reviewers are, I'm putting it out in general. So I'm not putting a name to the place. So even if you are bought and paid for, you should still do the right thing. And air out your consumers' frustrations. If they give you that airtime, you should at least announce what's going on. Like I did earlier in the video, this live stream. And like I said, if you guys want to put your frustrations out of what these companies are doing, you can leave the comments on the videos. I don't stop that. Just kind of don't put profanity in there, please. That's all I ask. But yeah, you can leave your comments on the videos and air out your grievances or however you want to do it. And if I see it, which I read them every day, I read them every day. So if you put a comment out there, I've read it. And if this is something you want me to announce on the Saturday live stream, I will do it. Just so everybody can feel your pain at that point of the frustration you have with these companies, and you want to do the right thing, but you can't because they keep soaking you for cash. And they're already making trillions, billions, millions. And we as consumers don't make that. We don't make that kind of money. And truthfully, I don't make any money. For the last, now, if I remember, somewhere around June, July, or August, somewhere in there, I have to look, I'll be on my 3rd year on YouTube. I have not made no money. None. Absolutely no money whatsoever off of YouTube. I ain't complaining. I'm not complaining. Yes, I could get monetized, which I'm over the 500 mark, but I was waiting for 1,000. I was waiting for 1,000,000 subscribers. Then I was going to go monetize. One of these days I'll reach it. If I'm lucky, but I'm trying. So, guys, listen. I just put out here my 2 cents when it comes to PC parts. And I've seen over the period of years that I've been building PCs, the problems, the anguish, the feeling of negativeness that I hear every day. These companies don't realize they've been raking everybody over the coals for the last, what, 40 years? First PC comes out in the world, it's $1,000. That was what, 1987 or 86, somewhere in there. Yeah, I know pseudoscientists, but it doesn't seem like anything changes unless somebody steps their foot out and makes that change. Everybody says, oh yeah, well, we got a community, we're making the change, we're making the change. Yeah, you're making the change inside of your community. I want to make a change inside of the whole world. Not just inside of a community. I want the whole world to come back to reality. Hello, Cyborg. Good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome to the channel. How much are the 9060 XTs going to sell for? Well, let's see. If we're getting up to $1,000, $1,200, $1,300, $1,500 for the 9070 XT, and they're probably only going to knock off like $300 from that over a period of time. But the 9060 at a 128-bit bus, they'll be lucky to get 800 out of it. Remember, the 4060 Ti started off at, the 16 gigabyte started off at $499, and the 4060 Ti 8 gigabyte was what, $499, $399. So, yeah, machine, yeah, the 7700 XT is going for $600. And that's funny because back 2 or 3 months ago, the 7800 XT was going for $429 with a game, with a free game. These companies are screwing up badly. They almost had me convinced that they were doing the right thing until this launch. This launch convinced me that they're going to do it all wrong again. In 6 months' time, it might calm down. Might. Not guaranteed. But from what I'm hearing with them replenishing the stocks, it sounds like that the prices are being dictated by the AIB partners. They're dictating the prices. And these retailers got to make their money. They got to at least mark them up at least $50 to $100. At least. To make any money. Because then, if they mark it up $100, they're only going to make like $40. Because these AIB partners make them pay for the shipping. somewhat. So, yeah, it could. They could come in at $350 for what? Just like the 9070 XT or the 9070 first batch MSRP. Guys, MSRP is a set value, so that way, and understand what MSRP, how it works. It's a set value by AMD and NVIDIA and Intel to these AIB partners, so they cannot go below that price. They cannot go below that price and sell a graphics card or any parts below the MSRP. That's a stipulation rule. That's not a consumer rule. That's a stipulation rule by the manufacturer to the AIB partners. It's a stipulation. It is not a consumer kind of thing. It wasn't really meant for the consumers. There is no MSRP, period. Simple put. Can someone Google the average used price of an RTX 4080 Super, please? Let's see. We'll do it. Yeah, average price right now is $2,700. That's the average price, $2,700. Yep. Here. This is what they're supposed to be, $1,500 retail, and it's supposed to be $1,200 on eBay. But this right here down there says the 4080 price is $1,500 on Amazon, supposedly. Used price is about $1,200. So, that's what it's currently supposed to be. That's supposed to be on Amazon. So. If that's the case, let's see what the RTX 4080 is. I go and actually no. $1,900. But that's used price. 5080, $2,000. I mean, 2,000, $1,900, $1,800, 1,900, 2,000. Average, 2,000. So, if you wanted to know, there you go. Average on Amazon's about around $2,000. On eBay, it's going to be way more than that. You're going to be looking at double. That reminds me, we didn't do that. We didn't go to eWaste. I mean eBay. eBay. Let's see. Let's pull up the eBay. Let's pull up the 4080. We're just going to see the 4080. So I'll take you guys there with me. There. Let's go ahead and make this bigger so you guys can see it. Let's see. What do we got? 4080. And that's not the Super. Maybe I should have put the Super on there. Maybe I should have went back to the 4080. $2,732.90. You need any more proof than that? There it is. 4080 Super. Used. Yeah. And they're bidding for this one. Where was it? Get up there. They're bidding for this one. Starting bid $1,000. $1,400, $1,600. 4 bids $760. $1,550. $1,550. $1,125. $1,175. $1,075. 12, 16. 15. It goes on and on and on and on and on. Oh, this one you guys are gonna like. $2,250, I would say. Excellent condition. Yeah, if it's used and you're gonna sell it for that price, man, get out of here. You gotta be totally sick. Sick. Totally sick. Look at this. This is a blower edition. Yeah. I want you guys to really think about this. Think about this price from China. And it's the blower edition. You telling me that this is a 4080 Super? You're telling me this is a 4080 Super? Nah. Come on. You're welcome, man. You're welcome, pseudoscientist. This is not a man. They need to get bent with this. Whoa, too much. This is just too much, guys. I'm gonna get sick. I'm getting graphics card wave sickness. I can't handle that. Just too much wave sickness for me. Ugh. I mean, it's obvious when they're charging this outrageous crap. And you know who's at fault? Why these scalpers do this? It is, I'm not going to blame TSMC. They're just the builders of the GPU dies. I'm going to blame the manufacturing companies, Intel, AMD, NVIDIA. I'm going to blame the AIB partners, all of them across the board. And you know, I'm going to go as far as not blaming the retailers because they're stuck with these high prices from the AIB partners. They can't do nothing about this. They're stuck with it. So I'm not blaming the retailers. And I had a long think about that. See, the AIB partners, like, I'm not going to say, you guys knew who I mean. If they set the value and for each graphics card, let's say the 9070 XT, and they sell it to a retailer for $800 or $850, That in order for the retailer to sell that product, the consumer has to absorb the cost. The gamers have to absorb the cost. So overall, they're screwing everybody. Because in late reports, long back reports about this generation, they were supposed to put us in 3 nanometer process. We were supposed to be at 3 nanometers on the GPUs, the dies. They scrapped it because they couldn't get it to work. But all of a sudden, now that they put out the 5 nanometer processors for these graphics cards, like they did for Ada Lovelace, they did it for Blackwell. So it's just a refresh. And they did the same thing with the 7000 series to go up to the 9000 series. AMD did. So they're both at fault. So we're paying for leftovers that been repurposed into graphics cards. Anybody can take and laser off and laser on a new name on a graphics card. Just like a reviewer had the other day, he bought a 9800 X3D. What did they send him? Somebody stuck a label on it and sent him an AM4 processor. This is beyond me, and it was a sealed box. And we didn't get to see the sealed box. So we can't confirm that. If it was a sealed box and I seen the front of that cover to where you can see through that white plastic clear window, then yeah, that story would have been confirmed. But when you open up the box and then you say, well, this happened, you have more than one way to observe what the contents of that box is. It's just so shameful when you do clickbait. Damn. And I don't even do that. I'm not, and somebody says, somebody said one time on one of my videos, and they left a message, oh, you're doing clickbait. Guys, does it look like I'm doing clickbait? Really? When I bring you the truth to everything, does it look like clickbait? No. I had one guy one time tell me, he said, you know what? You should stop making videos. Why? Does it hurt your feelings? Really? I'm sorry it hurts your feelings, but too bad. I'm not going to stop making videos. Winston says, sorry, Jay. I've been reminiscing with my brothers. Hey, it's all good. Real life comes first. We know this. It's all good. Since we really haven't connected like this, but I'm still here. Like I said, again, real life comes first. Nothing in this computer age world or anything else can take away from the human factor of support for your family. You can't take away from that. It is what it is. It's not going to hurt my feelings. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I have instant replay on all my videos. You can play them back to see it again. So you're not missing anything. So never worry, you're fine. If you miss something, you can always go back into the video and pull it up and listen to it again. So, just so we clarify that with everybody here. Even my live stream videos are replayable at any time you want to watch them. No cost to you. None. All my videos you can play at any time, no cost to you. I do not charge any one of my subscribers or people watching my videos, which I hope you become a subscriber, by the way. So, just to clarify the air, nobody has to pay for my videos. The only thing I ask is you watch the videos and give me your time. And I know time is money. And give me your time to watch, for you to watch my videos will help us out a lot. And also too, subscribing as well will help us out a lot. So, and even in the future, I'm not going to be like that one old guy, that says, okay, well, I'm going to lock everything away from everybody that wants to watch my videos. No, I'm not going to do that. So, get that fear out of your mind. My channel will always be here regardless. My videos will always be here regardless. Be right back. My neighbor is making lots of noise. Make sure he is okay. Yeah, well, make sure he didn't fall over something. Yeah, I agree with you. An old vet guy. Oh, okay. No problem, man. Just make sure he didn't hurt himself. I know how it is. I got neighbors like that too. They'd fall out of their bathtub, because they tell me, oh, I fell out of my bathtub yesterday. And I would say, how'd you do that? Oh, I was reaching for my beer. Really? Oh my God. The crazy stories you hear. I mean, could you imagine just hearing them kind of stories? I know it's not talking about PCs or anything, but I thought it was interesting. I really did. It's like one time you hear a guy said, oh, I slipped on a banana. Well, how did you slip on the banana? Well, I threw the peel on the floor. Really? Oh my God. I have to drink water, guys, because, I have a problem right here. I have no other choice. I have to. Especially when y'all make me talk for longer than 2 hours. I'm not blaming y'all. I'm not blaming y'all, really. I'm not. I'm not twisting your arm either. I'm kind of closing things up on the other side. So this way, I don't have a bunch of things opened. Better. I've been liberated by all the open tabs. I've been liberated. No more open tabs. I closed them all. If you guys got any questions or anything else, be more than happy. Ask me any question you like. I've already laid out my whole plan and what's going on and everything else. But here's the new plan. Here's the new plan. I know I haven't built a PC in quite a while. But as you guys can understand, as well as the world, that prices being so high the way they are right now, that I have to come out of pocket for it. So I'm waiting for the prices to come down. Just like you all. So that way when I do a build, and anybody decides they want to copy my build, that they're not paying an astronomical price that's more beneficial to the consumer than for me to build one right now and tell you, guess what? You can't build it. I think that's more crushing than me building it when it's at a low price and you go to build it yourself and say, okay, well, I can afford it. I'd rather have you be able to afford to do a build than not to afford to do a build. So that's the reason why I don't mention too much of the high end, is because you get a couple % of people in there that do high end. I only got one or two subscribers that do high end. Everybody else, they do mid range to low end. So once in a while, I'll pop out there about high end and what I think would be the best. But right now, even at the 50-90 scale, I don't even think that's the best. Truthfully, I don't think anything on the 50 series is the best. And if you really want to get down to it all, I don't think anything on the 9000 series is the best either. As far as graphics cards. I know I just shut out AMD and I know I just shut out NVIDIA. And believe it or not, I really don't see nothing on Intel side that really makes me jump over the moon. I don't. Especially when you got the A770 and you got the B580 beating the hell out of the A770. And you got one that's got 12 gigabytes of VRAM and you got the other one that's got 16 gigabytes of VRAM. And you got a B580 beating the hell out of an A770. Something doesn't sound right. One's got 16 gigabytes of VRAM. The other one's got 12 gigabytes of VRAM. What doesn't sound right? That A770 should be going well over that B580. As far as RAM wise. But it's not. Something don't sound right there. Come on guys. That just doesn't sound right. Welcome back there, Winston. Good to see you back, man. But I don't know if you guys think there's something right or wrong with that, because I think there's something wrong with this. You got one card that's got 16 gigabytes of VRAM that has has a little bit better on one end compared to the other, but you're trying to tell me that they both are on GDDR6, and the clock cycles and everything. You're trying to tell me that a 12 gigabyte B580 is beating an A770. What's not clicking? I'm bringing this up to you. What's not clicking with this? Do the math. I'm going to just do this. I'm just going to do this. I am forced to do this today. I'm on a mission today. Let's see, B580 specs. I'm on a mission today. A770 specs. Okay, now you guys can come with me and we'll see. Okay, now we are on Tech Power Up. I got the B580 right here. B580's got 2,560 cores. A770's got 4,096. Look again. 2,560, 4,096. TMU's 256. 160 on the B580. Something's really wrong. The ROPs are 80. The ROPs here are 128. Something's really wrong. Okay, this has got 12 gigabytes of VRAM. This has got 16 gigabytes of VRAM. This is GDDR6. This is GDDR6. 192-bit bus. 256-bit bus. What is wrong with this picture? Something is not right with this picture. Something Intel, AMD, and NVIDIA are doing, they're not telling us. They're overpowering their cards. Look at the A770. Let's get down to the brass tacks. A770 is right here at the 100% mark. Let's see where the B580 is. 14% faster. 14% faster. How? How are you telling me that a B580 is 14% faster with 12 gigabytes of VRAM? No way in hell. It's not possible. Especially with the stats, it's not possible. Something's wrong. They're either overpowering their cards to make them look better, and that's going to stress out the GPU die, and the card's going to crap out faster. Something's wrong. I mean, you look at the B580 versus the A770 in most games in 1080p and 1440p, the B580 outperforms the A770. Yeah, the problem is, what's the problem? Why is a 16 gigabyte card being outperformed by a 12 gigabyte card? It's just like if you go into NVIDIA and you're telling me that a 16 gigabyte AMD card is beating a 12 gigabyte NVIDIA card? Same principle. Not possible. This is not possible. This is not feasible. Especially with the games being balanced on VRAM. So you're telling me a game that takes more than 12 gigabytes of VRAM, that'll take it up to 14 gigabytes of VRAM. Are you telling me that that 12 gigabyte VRAM card will hold up on that same game as a 16 gigabyte VRAM card from the same manufacturer? Not possible. Not unless you change the settings and make the 12 gigabyte card run slower to where it can handle all 12 gigabytes of VRAM. That's the only way. Architecture might change, but the flow of energy doesn't change. The flow of energy does not change. It's still the same flow of energy. It's still at around the same frequency. It doesn't change. So, this is a battle I've been putting through my mind for the last 2 months. I mean, I've been battling this through my mind for the last couple months. How the hell is this possible? I mean, if we look here, the pixel rates, and if we go by the FP64, and that's the B580, we go by the FP64, this is 2.458 T-flops, 1 to 8. So that's right here. This is the A770. Now we go to the B580 and we look at the same thing. .709. 1.709 compared to 2.458. FP32, 1966 compared to, that's what they changed. That's it. They put more of the weight on the FP16 than they did FP32. What are we looking at, the FP32 or the FP16? Well, let's make sure. 1966 on the FP32. Let's make sure. F1367. My bad. I looked at the wrong one. 1367. Now, the FP16 is 27.34. And this one's 39.32. Texture rate, 14.4 gigatextiles. This is the B580. Is it the B580? Yeah, this is the B580. Texture rate 427.2. So 614. 427.2. Do you see something wrong now? Suggested 450 watts. Suggested 550 watts. 225 TDP. 190 TDP. What's wrong with this picture? You guys tell me what's wrong with this. I think something's wrong with it. I truthfully do. Bro, I've seen all the reports and I weighed everything out. The only thing they did is they changed where the power's going. And they added more clocks. That's all they did. To make up the difference between the A770 and the B580. That's the only thing they did different. They really didn't do anything that's innovative. That's the reason why I wasn't really recommending the B580 anyway. Because I think the A770 has more life to it than the B580. Because of the 4 gigabyte of VRAM difference between the two. But the problem is that Intel stopped updating the software on the A770, the A series. They stopped updating the software. So the software is only 50% finished. Not a lot of people know that, but I figured I'd just put that in there, let y'all know that software is only 50% finished. Yeah, but you're missing the point there, machine. Bro, the software is only 50% finished. These charts are absolutely meaningless with the software not completed 100%. That's what everybody left out. I'm just saying what's on my mind, bro. The software is not completed. When Intel comes out and says the A series software is 100% completed, and they come out themselves, not a leak, they come out themselves and say it, then I'll believe it. But until then, it's incomplete, and all the benchmark that was done on the A series GPUs are immaterial right now. They don't mean a thing. Not one thing right now. Is because if they update it all the way up to the DirectX 12.2 like they're supposed to, and put all the bells and whistles in there like they did the B580, guess what's going to happen? The A series is going to topple the B series. That's the reason why they don't do it. Why do you think NVIDIA doesn't push out the 50 series software to the 40 series? All of it. The multi-frame generation and everything else. Why? Because the 40 series is going to topple the 50 series. It's a cause and effect. These companies put themselves in this spot. Instead of fixing what they had and making it better, they decided that they're going to take and build something that they think is better, and it becomes worse. So they're selling you worse crap than what you would have bought before. You're not getting price to performance anymore. Oh, I know, bro, and I do appreciate you putting that information out there. I really do. Hey, it helps the community and it helps everybody else. But I'm just putting my 2 cents into it, and somebody should have said a long time ago to have the whole PC community understand the real deal to this. When a company does not finish their software, your hardware becomes immaterial. Just like if you bought a 1080 Ti and there's no more software updates and you go to play the newest AAA game in 2025, that GPU is going to struggle because it doesn't have the software updates, doesn't have the technology. It's going to struggle. And that's the same thing that's happening with the A770 to the B580. Same thing. They cut off the updates to work on this new GPU, and they didn't even finish the first one. So everybody that bought the first one got screwed. Screw job and a half, and its best. That's what everybody got, a screw job. And now with the B580, there's going to be problems. Because people are going to want to play AAA games, like the best of the best of the best. And they got to play on very low settings. Especially when these AIB partners are putting them cards out for $400. It's a rip. It's a scam. To me, it's a scam. The new 6559 driver slows down the A770 system. Sparkle Arc A770. A few days ago, the 6559 driver was released, which integrated Arc A and B. Since the driver was integrated, I expected that the A770 would also support HAGs, which it doesn't, because they didn't build it that way, which is supported by the B580, but they didn't. See, I already know all this. I already know that machine. I'm glad you brought it up. I mean, but now they got XE3 coming out, and the thing is this. XE3 is only going to run on the B580. It's not going to be supported on the A770 or the A series because the way they built the technology. They basically outpriced themselves on the technology when it comes to software updates. They didn't think about the longevity of the software updates. So basically, any software update they tried to intermingle between the A series and the B series, it's going to be A series in the beginning all over again. So I don't know how else to put AMD and their drama right now. It's just like with AMD. Oh, Intel. I don't know how to put it any other way, Intel's drama. But with AMD, they said, what was it, in the 7000 series, that they were going to make their software open source. Am I wrong about this? They said they were going to make their software open source. But what did they do? 9000 series. They lock it to the 9000 series. Well, so much for open source, so much for transparency. That just went out the window. Everybody forgot about that. In the long run, all of this does not matter because they are not expanding the ARC anymore. Yeah, I do agree. Yeah, to even get one now depends on the near future of what the CEO does, the new CEO. But it doesn't look like he's going to be interested in doing anything more with the graphics card section. I think he's gonna. I think he's gonna walk his way out of that graphics card, doing the graphics cards, and stick with the integrated graphics and the CPUs and whatever else they muster up over there. But you might be right. They might be walking their way out of the graphics card industry. Yeah, I mean, that's the impression I got too, Machine. I don't think he's interested in either. And everybody spent all that money, and then what happens if he closes the graphics card section? No more driver updates? After a certain amount of years, you only get one chance to get a replacement? It's not looking good. He wants to go back to what Intel is good at. Yeah, and that's CPUs and integrated graphics. That's the only thing that Intel's ever been good at in the whole many years that I've been dealing with Intel. When it comes to graphics cards, they're trying to sell you a laptop graphics card, graphics card chip on a discrete desktop graphics card. That's something like China would do. And that's the reason why they can't come up with something new for the graphics card. It's disappointing. It's really disappointing. But I really don't want to keep going on and on and on with the bad news. I really don't. But I can tell you, if this keeps going on, this bad news, we're going to have to take a different direction, because we're going to end up having these companies that they keep pushing these high amounts of prices and everything else. It's just going to get more drama, more confusing, and everything else. I just think they need to throw the money they were putting into ARC into integrated graphics. Yeah, they should. And they would make more money that way. Well, yeah, because then they would be doing laptops, bro. Then they would be doing integrated graphics on laptops. But even that is getting phased out. That's even getting phased out. People are not wanting to have the processor with the graphics card built into one, is because if your processor goes down, so does your graphics. And what do you got to replace it with? Let's say you don't have a GPU. And let's say you have integrated graphics built on to your chip, and all of a sudden it just quits. And you don't have a replacement. But you're tech savvy and you know how to replace it. But the thing is this. You don't have a replacement, and then you got a bulk of papers that's sitting in your computer that have to get finalized for the next day, and you're stuck at that point to where you're left with no option. Nothing to boot the drive up on to get the information. Nothing. Is because now you're slammed with one chip that you can't do nothing with. I'm being honest with you guys. You get into integrated graphics, you don't get much cachet with it. You know, it's good as a backup, but when it comes to, if, let's say, your CPU dies and it takes along your GPU, The only thing you got left is your SSD, and it killed everything else. And you're stuck with paying another $2,000 to $2,500 to get a new PC. Especially when they're doing integrated graphics PCs for almost what, $1,000? A little bit more? Even pre-builts are getting more expensive. So, and the only thing you got left on the market is used market. And even the used market is becoming abused market. Abused. Not used, abused. Because everything going up on the used market now is almost to the new prices. There's no more paying a third of the price of the item anymore. Even though that it's been used for like 5 years, they still want you to pay 100% of the price cost of the item that when you first bought it. Guys, it's just getting stupider each day. So, I think it would be nice if they made affordable integrated graphics for the PC and will be equal to the 4070. That would be nice. I don't know if even that's possible. Well, they were doing Strix Halo. I think that's an AMD thing. Strix Halo. It was supposed to be close to equal to a 4060 Ti and a 4070. Supposedly. Didn't see much go with that. Didn't hear much go on with that. Sorry, I got to scratch my back. So, they're supposed to get close, but they didn't get close. Well, we don't know that neither. Because it was just supposed to be designed for laptops. I know you do, MTBK. I know you do look forward for it in the future. I know. We'll see what happens, but something tells me they're just using it for laptops right now until they come out with something better. We don't know what they're going to come out with desktop. We don't even know if they're going to come out with anything with desktop after this launch. These companies could just up and say, I had enough. They can take and deal with the used market or whatever's on the market, and they can all walk away. It's already obvious that MSI walked away from AMD. These companies are starting to split away from these big manufacturers. So, AMD just lost one of their big manufacturers, MSI. MSI's not really building anything for AMD anymore. So MSI might be on the chopping block sooner or later. Who knows? Some of these companies are not making their money anymore. That's the reason why the prices are so high right now. They're not making any money anymore. So they're going to try to rip off the consumer and get suck as much as they can out of the consumer before the consumer gives them the big finger and tells them to piss off. And that's what's going to happen. They keep going down this route. The consumer's going to tell them to piss off. Simple. Yeah, machine, we have no other choice but to look forward. I know looking back in the past, it's not going to change anything now. Present and future, that's the only thing that's going to change. MSI is making motherboards for AMD chips. Yeah, but they're not doing GPUs. MSI has always been a motherboard company. That's where they make most of their money. Even though prices might come down on motherboards soon, we don't know about CPUs. They might come down too. Who knows? There's more money in motherboards. Yep. Truthfully, yeah. I'll tell you what, guys. I laid out today. I'm going to give you my conclusion, and then I'm going to wrap it up. Today, I laid out in the beginning what was happening with another content creator. He gave me that message. I told you all about it. Took you guys on that ride. And also, too, on the ride of the fact of what's going on with these retailers and these AIB partners and the motherboard, not the motherboard, the GPU die manufacturers. I took you on that ride and much more. We went on a lot of different little adventures today, so it's been very fun-filled and packed, I think. You're welcome, machine, anytime. No, you didn't upset me, bro. No, you did not upset me at all. Believe it or not, you didn't. That didn't upset me. I'm glad you gave that information. I do thank you for that information. And if y'all want to look at that information some more, then make sure you sign up for Discord. I left the link in the chat right here. But if you do want to sign up for Discord, all you got to do is leave me a note on a video and say, hey, I like to sign up for Discord, and I'll send you a link, and then you can get in on Discord. Simple as that. I do them individually. I just don't leave it open to everybody. I do it individually. So, but anyway, guys, I want to say thank you for everybody being out here today in the live stream, and whoever watches the video, thank you for watching the video. And, make sure you all subscribe if you haven't subscribed, because I need subscribers. I need to get bigger in the world like Linus Tech Tips. If I ever get there. Maybe I'm not as funny, maybe not. But we can always be that funny. Just remember, I'm the bald guy with the beard, get it? So, but anyway, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, positive like button that is. And don't forget to turn on your notification bell so you know when I post the next video. Until the next time and the next video, guys, and we'll see you on the next one.